the HR has told me it's very difficult to know who is there and who is not there. When you look at the payroll, he has mentioned to you 10,000 employees. I know, of course, UHC takes the 8,000, and UHC is not here. But even the 1,000, that is supposed to be in MOH here, State Department for Medical Services, we don't see them. Yet, you are supposed to be working, sharing this work. Some people are overburdened with a lot of work, yet others are earning salary and doing whatever they are doing wherever they are. We feel we need to allocate duties according to what we have in the establishment so that others are not overburdened. You go to divisions, for example, they will tell you, we need officers. Where do I get officers? I go back to my HR and ask, do you have officers? He says, we don't have any officer. But where are all these officers? I think we all understand our department. It is highly technical. Therefore, we need technical officers. And if we have clerical officers, then it should be minimum. So we want to know, each card, as Dr. Zainab has just said, if we have clericals more than the technical officers, then we have a problem. We definitely have a problem. So I want you people to take this exercise very seriously. As mentioned, we've already done with a team that is in Madare. We've done spinal. And I'll just give you statistics and what we discovered as this exercise was started. We have officers who are in our payroll but working in the NGO. Are you seeing that? We are paying somebody who is being paid somewhere or earning some allowances somewhere, but as we are shouldering the burden. And not only just shouldering the burden, there's an officer who is covering that officer because he's doing the work of two officers instead of doing their work. So we therefore, we discussed this in the senior management meeting, and it was passed that we now do head count. And therefore, I bring apologies from our cabinet secretary, who was to officiate this function, but because of the cabinet meeting today morning, again, she could not make it. And she requested that I preside over this. Tell your colleagues wherever they are, if they don't submit their papers to be aligned with their files, end of this month, we will stop their salary, and until they come, and when they come, it will not just be that you have come after 30 days, you will also receive a suspension letter for that defect, and then you now go through the disciplinary process. Because you have opened this window for 7 days. Is it 5 days or 7 days? 5 days here. So if you are supposed to have submitted your papers here, and then you don't come after 7, please know that you will be meeting the disciplinary committee. Simple things like submitting your, call it what, this one of wealth declaration. Do you know over 200 of us did not submit our wealth declaration? Even here at the headquarters. And you know what about that? It is that simple. Your salary is stopped. And I think we have stopped salary for how many? So 250 explained themselves. Another 250 have not explained themselves. Are those our staff really? So I think we have stopped also salaries for those ones. If you do not declare your wealth, then your salary is stopped. Even me, I'm submitting my paperwork here today. You know, and I've come with my file. All right? I might also be one of those contributing to the ghost workers. So please, let's take this exercise very seriously. And strictly 7 days, they are going to go out for another 7 days because they are going to split themselves different counties because we have very few staff in the counties, so not like the number that we have here. And this exercise will be closed. We also want to know who are on duty because the doctors are, your doctors, your colleagues, some of them are on strike. If they're on strike, tell them to report. If they don't report again, itakuwa ni because you're on strike, because that's your right to be maybe on strike. But this time, if you have not submitted your paperwork, I don't think the issue of strike will come in here because we'll just take disciplinary action against you, regardless of your position, whether you're a union member or not, because there are those who are saying we are on strike. So, and therefore, if they don't submit their paperwork, we'll just deem that they have absconded duty, according to us. So, thank you for coming out, and as the senior-most heads of the divisions and directorates, take the lead and also inform your officers to submit their paperwork for verification. This is an exercise that is done. You've heard we are called upon by public service as well to verify our certificates with either National Examination Council or the universities or the colleges that we went through. These are normal exercise, so don't take it that what are we trying to do? No, there is that intention. People will say, what is the end game here? The end game for us here as a department is just to know the exact number that we have. We want to clean our payroll system. We want to remove the ghost workers that we do have. I've just given you one whom we discovered arising from when they heard about this exercise. We've had cases where people have been dismissed. They are not aware because they moved a long time ago. And as on our records, we still feel they are still in our payslip. Now, when you send a dismissal letter to them, they tell you, what is this about? Me, I moved on a long time ago. Update your records. So we are simply updating our records. We are simply updating our records. And you also want to know, for those who have gone for further studies, we want to know the course that you specialize in so that we're able to place you according to your specialty. Because we have here different divisions, which requires different specialty, different cadres of officers who will then man those divisions. I think after this, we'll be giving you, the previous, say the acting capacities that were given. We now want to give you according to the staff establishment because that was before we got our approved establishment. So immediately we are done with this exercise. Before we get approval from the public service to advertise our positions, we will be now realigning the heads of divisions and the heads of directorates according to our staff establishment and according to the suitability that we will have done an assessment. So we'll be sitting again with the senior management to discuss on your roles, and then we shall issue you with the official letters confirming that you are now acting in that position. No, previously we have just been told you are going to act here. You are the acting head, and there's no evidence. When you appear for interview, all right, when you go for interview, nobody knows that you have been acting. So you go and explain yourself. That, I've been acting head of non-communicable diseases for a period of time. But there's no evidence. So this time we are going to give you evidence to confirm that you've been acting. And when you apply for a position, they know that indeed you have acted for this position. So, and I'm telling you this because when an officer leaves, we tell them, who is there to take over? All right? I'll give you an example of Dr. Paula there. I don't even think you have a letter of acting, do you? Because when Nyangasi left, so we said, who is the next one? Oh, it is Paula. Okay, mwambie achukue aendelee na ofisi. Kienyeji way. Kienyeji way. It is not good. If anything happens, you can easily say, but I'm not the acting. So we want to give you a letter of confirmation that you're acting, even if now the public service removed that. I think because public service removed that acting allowance, so we don't take it very seriously. But please, let's have evidence. Even if you don't have the acting allowance, but let's have that evidence that you have been given additional responsibility. So I don't want to say much. I want this exercise to start, and therefore declare this exercise officially open. Deal now with your HR, and then within 1 week, this exercise will be closed. And I mean closing. So HR, if somebody has not come here, and you keep on entertaining them, then I think it is you who has a problem. Previously, we've been having such cases. When we looked at the 19 issues that doctors have on this strike issue, one of it is that I brought my documents for sponsorship to rooms G 319 or 314. And you know, it is part of now the cause of strike that I dropped my papers there. And then somebody goes for further studies and expects that the ministry to pay. Now, when the ministry does not pay because we don't have any record, they have arrears at the university. Now, that is one of the issues that we have before us and the union, that we have not paid the arrears. When we went through the records, we discovered we have sponsored 195, is it? 95 or 93? Yet you are talking about 900. So when we went further and asked them, how did you go to the university? Which letter do you have? I dropped at room number 315 or 314. I've said that is the past. That is the past. Because we have done our things in a way that it is now coming to haunt us back. Because they're telling us pay. Because they were released by the counties. And they are in the university. The counties are saying we cannot pay. As long as they're in university, it is the national government to pay. We are saying we don't have records authorizing you to go for that training. So it becomes a tug of war. They say that has been the norm. That has been the norm. So please, let's abandon that. That's not the correct way of doing things. Let's do things the right way. So, as I've said, I now declare this process officially open.